time to grow with the SEO Queen. Receive the perfect leads like never before. No traffic is gonna explode. It's time to grow.
Welcome to the SEO Queen Tech Show, a podcast to help you get more credibility, visibility, and profitability through leveraging search engine optimization and other marketing insight. This podcast is for entrepreneurs and businesses of all sizes. We are broadcast worldwide on Bashani Radio, iHeartRadio, and iTunes. Bashani Radio, always talking about everything from New York City. You can listen to the SEO Queen Tech Show on any mobile phone or tablet device, and please follow us online on Instagram and all social media platforms at the SEO Queen. That's THE Queen. And I just want to say that I am really excited about our next guest. My next guest is a social media marketing expert with over 1 million followers on Instagram and tons of knowledge. He shared a stage with Les Brown and many more. So you definitely don't want to miss the CEO and founder of Revenue Boomers. I want to present to some and introduce to others, none other than Cliff Pierre, CEO. How are you?
I'm phenomenal. I'm honored to be here, just happy to be alive too.
That's awesome. So tell me, what got you into your entrepreneurship journey?
So I was following this random individual named Tai Lopez on Snapchat. And this is 2015, 2016. One of them called it, check out this guy on Snapchat. I was like, who is this guy? I was like, followed him, and then 2016, 2017, he launched this social media marketing agency program. And he was going to teach people how to start a marketing agency, charge clients $1,000 a month. And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty simple. So I bought his course, and it kind of opened up the marketing can of worms, I should say. And I just kind of dove in since.
Wow. So you started your entrepreneurship journey because you were inspired by Tai Lopez.
Yes, Tai. The funny thing about Tai too is I tagged him in one of my videos the other day, and he messaged me like, yo, thank you so much for supporting me. He randomly messaged me now. When you got 1 million plus, people put some respect on your name. So it's just
absolutely.
It's full circle. Where is this event? I'm so curious.
This was in Santa Monica. I met him, I forget what year it was, but this was a few years ago. And I met him in Santa Monica. Tai Lopez, he's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's like the goat of marketing in my eyes.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting, everything he's been able to accomplish. He's definitely inspired. He's the reason why I have a picture of myself on my homepage, and it's not vanilla. So yeah, he knows what he's talking about. So
yeah.
So tell me, what was it like going through his program? I've done his 67 steps. He had this 300 frameworks, but it wasn't complete. So I didn't stay in it. So I don't know if it's completed now, but yeah.
He was genius with that too. With the social media marketing agency program, it was also not fully complete. His business model is generate the sales, finish the program after you generate the sales, because last thing you want to do is create a program and not be able to sell it. And then you spent all that time recording all the videos, and then you basically know how to sell it. But with my experience with his program was when I got in there, some videos were in there, some videos weren't. So I was like, this is weird. But that also made you want to go back to be like, is there new videos in there? And how can I learn this? But what I realized with him is he doesn't know everything. I thought he was the face and he was selling it, and he was also knew all the knowledge. But then when you buy the program, you realize this person's teaching you the Facebook ads. This person's teaching you SEO. This person's teaching you copy. So I was like, oh, he just knows certain things and then delegates to other people. That's when I realized, oh, so you don't need to know everything. but he was a genius with packaging his course, presenting the information, and then leveraging other people's expertise. That's how I found out about Billie Jean. That's how I found out about Sean Volser. That's how I found out about SEO, because he had different people kind of teaching different sections within his one main program. And it was like
So
extremely.
did he have Billie Jean as marketing teaching on his platform at one point?
He had Billy create 2 or 3 videos in the SMMA agency program. He had another
Oh, okay,
guy
okay.
was running Facebook ads, teach the Facebook ads section. So he would teach, like, he would have 5 videos that he would do. Then he may have other people do 5 videos. Then he'll do 1 video, then have another person do like 3 videos. So he was like, he probably maybe did 20 of the videos. The other 50 were other people.
Oh, wow. I think he still has that social media agency course. It's still available.
He does. It's like the 4.0 version. I got it 2017, which it was like his original version, but he still does have it and he's still selling it. And I'm actually modeling some of his success with, like, I'm building out a speaker page. And I'm like, why not go to the GOATs if he has the formula and the template? And then I went to his website. Everything is a funnel. I was like, yo, this guy is a genius, dude. Any link you click on that guy's website, it's going to take you to another funnel, another offer, another funnel, another offer, another funnel. And it's just, I'm like, wow. And I was speaking with somebody else the other day, and they're telling me I need to get a copywriter. And I understand why I need to get a copywriter, because Tai, he's not writing all that copy. He just records the video, passes it to his team, and they do everything else. So it just reinforced, like, everything should be a funnel.
So you think everything should be a funnel? Why?
From a lead generation standpoint, it's the easiest way to educate the consumer on what it is that you do, and then it systematizes the process of what you take them through. If they get your $39 offer, and then maybe they'll buy your $5,000, $3,000 offer. Some of his offers were just like, hey, you want me to coach you? You need to be making at least $1 million a year. These are the requirements, versus him getting on the phone and explaining that to people. The funnel just helps automate your lead generation and systematize it where you're not wasting time with the tire kickers. So that's why the funnel, I think, is the most powerful thing ever.
That's awesome. So tell me, like, once you met Tai, you started going through his course, what made you, because a lot of people go through these courses, they buy books, they buy courses, they don't implement. What made you implement what you were learning and got you to the point you are today?
I realized, like, Tai gave me the foundation. Tai's model, I think, was a little flawed. What I mean by a little flawed was, like, he was telling you to charge $1,000 to $10,000 a month, but he didn't really tell you how to charge the $10,000 a month. So, like, I came in charging $1,000 a month. Charging $1,000 a month attracts $1,000 a month client mindsets. They want everything for nothing. So 2020, I took a course from a guy named Joe Irway. Joe Irway taught me high ticket, and he taught me, like, how to package a high ticket offer. So I kind of took everything I learned from Tai, took everything I learned from Joe, Billie Jean, all these other people, and then I realized I need to create a high ticket offer that I take everything that I know and package it. So instead of me just selling social media marketing services, I would help them nail down the offer, which is, like, the most important thing. Then the next thing I would do is help them build an automated lead generation system, which is just a funnel, a series of landing pages, set up the email marketing, set up the SMS, set up the backend system, and then run the ads. Because without the offer and without the funnel running ads, if you do a lead form ad, you get leads, but they're not really that educated on your offer and your services.
Yeah,
So
I think the consumer definitely now needs that education. And I agree with you. Like, funnels are definitely the way to go when you're looking to educate people quickly to that conversion.
yeah, for lead generation, funnel everything. E-commerce, you can still use a funnel, but you need a sales page for e-commerce. Lead services, funnel.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I just learned high ticket, and that's what really helped me. So Tai Lopez gave me the foundation. All the other programs and courses I took over the time helped me re-emphasize what I needed to know and what made me implement. I like making money. If I can charge $10,000 for a service and make some money off of it, count me in. And I was in a mental shift at that time where I wanted to change my surroundings, change my life. So that course was kind of like the fuel, and it helped me like realize the opportunity, and it gave me the information to be able to implement. So for me, it was like perfect timing.
So what's the difference between a funnel and a sales page?
A funnel is typically has a free training element. You'll have a landing page, you'll have a headline offer, a sub headline offer. Typically, I like an image and then a button. That's it. My funnels. So landing page, simple, sweet, clean. Then after they enter in the information, name, email, and phone number, it's going to take them to like a free training. For me, it's a mini webinar. The mini webinar is usually like a 10-minute VSL that goes into the details of the offer. If the person
VSL stands for those who
VSL is a video sales letter. So it's just a easy way to educate people on your product or services. And it's literally like a video that sells your products and services.
right.
And that VSL typically, it's persuasion. It's understanding how to package it, how to present it, and then how to direct the call to action. And then after people watch your video sales letter, they can book a call or fill out an application to see if they qualify to book a call. And then that's when the sales process starts. But without the free training, you're gonna get the information, you'll call them, they still don't know who you are or what you do. They still need to be educated on the offer. But with the VSL, they're gonna show up to the call, and it's more like an enrollment call versus a sales call.
Gotcha. So for those who are debating whether or not they need a VSL or a funnel, like what is your rule of thumb when deciding what to use for what?
If it's lead generation, funnel. If it's e-commerce, regular sales page, like an e-commerce sales page. So for me, I was at Sean Mike Kelly event, and I met another gentleman, and I was speaking with another lady while I was with that gentleman, and I told him like, hey, my goal is to get to 7 figures in revenue this year. He's like, he overheard the conversation. He's like, well, Cliff, I'm making 8 figures this year. He's like, I made 8 figures last year. I can easily help you get to 7. I'll give you my funnel. I was like, okay, I'll give you my funnel. And then I got on a call with his team last week, and his team was explaining to me, like, they showed me his funnels. They showed me it. They're like, yeah, we have this $297 offer, we have this offer, we have that, we have this. And I was like, damn, it's really all goes back to the funnel again. I got an 8-figure guy telling me funnel. I see Ty's funnels. I know funnels. And I'm like, okay, I've worked in bigger businesses and I've seen their funnels. So I'm like, why am I trying to recreate the wheel? If an 8-figure earner is having a funnel and he's telling me this is how, and his team's telling me this is his funnel, I have to go back to like the funnel architect, because that's really how you scale.
Right.
And as much as I want to try to say you don't need it, I'm around these 8-figure earners, 7-figure earners, and they all have funnels.
Yeah, I really am a firm believer in funnels as well. I think a funnel is one of the reasons why the SEO Queen has been able to attract the people that we've worked with over the years. So my next question to you is like, what made you start your brand? Like, what was your thought process? You were inspired by Tai Lopez. You got the coaching piece. You got the funnel piece. Like, let's talk about branding. What was your thought process when you?
So I have a guy that I know. His name is Bob Grant. He's like 72, 73. He won Super Bowl VI back in the day. He's the owner of the Retired Players Congress, the largest manufacturer of licensed NFL jackets in the US. They in partnership with JH Design, all this stuff. I was speaking to him one day, maybe like June 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Cliff, I've known him for maybe like a couple of years. He's like, Cliff, and his really toned, subtle voice, Cliff, I don't see you online. I'm like, what do you mean, Bob, you don't see me online? He's like, when I search, I don't see you. I was like, oh, so I'm not qualified because you don't see me. Okay. No one's ever going to say that to me again. All right. I didn't say that to him on the phone.
Right.
Like, okay. Because I'm an introvert. I don't really want to be publicly known. But
God, I'm the same way. If I didn't have to be out here to do what I do, I would not be.
So it's like that.
That's funny how a lot of marketers feel that way. They do not like being online.
I was
The
like, I'll
irony.
post pictures. Videos, nah. If it's an ad, yeah. Caught me in. But I was like, it bothered me so much to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just make myself the product. The only difference between me and Tai Lopez is more people know him than me. The only difference between me and Grant Cardone is more people know him than me. And they're obviously older than me. I'm African American, they're Caucasian, whatever. But they're not smarter than me. They're not better than me. They just have more people know who they are than me. So I was like, okay.
Now,
And I
I
was
have a
looking at
question for you. I have a question for you. So that kind of, I'm African American as well. And so why do you think it is that, people like Tai Lopez, Grant Cardone are more well known? Do you think it's like a lack of ad spend? Do you think it's perception? Like, I mean, what are your thoughts?
it's a
Being
combination
black
of
online, what are your thoughts
being
about
black
that?
online, you're definitely going to have different challenges versus a Caucasian person straight up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. How you look is how you are perceived, and how you look is who you attract. So if you're Caucasian, you're going to attract more Caucasian people. If you're female, you're going to attract more. If you're a woman, you're going to attract more women. If you're a white woman, you're going to attract more white women. If you're black, you're going to attract more black women. It is what it is. If you're older, you're going to attract older demographic. If you're younger, you attract a younger demographic. People are attracted to people that look like them, talk like them, and that they can resonate with. So my community is going to be predominantly black because I'm black. I'm African American. Tai Lopez community, he may have more. He's going to have. I'm not going to say just like Grant Cardone is kind of like one of those people where he got in trouble for saying that he talks street to attract the urban community. But at the end of the day, he's strategic. He knows what he's doing. You can't ignore him and think he doesn't want to attract the black community because we're the culture. We set the trends. No matter what, everybody wants to be black until it's like something crazy happens. I don't know how the fireworks happen. We set the trends. At the end of the day.
How did you do that?
I don't know, but that wasn't planned. But we set the
That was
trends.
like perfect.
And at the end of the day, like America knows who sets the culture. But when it comes to business, sometimes we have challenges with like getting into certain rooms because they feel like I want to do business with somebody that looks like me. It is what it is, but you just got to keep going, and you can't let other people's perception stop you or other people's negative stop you.
Right. I tested a few things on my marketing. I tested, saying black owned businesses versus not. I've tested a bunch of stuff, and I realized, and with my ad targeting, I do not target black spaces. But the majority of people who come through my funnel are black. But what you're saying is like people are attracted to who they see.
That's it. If you want, and I'm a marketer, if I want an older demographic, I'm gonna put an older person in the ad. If I want a younger demographic, I'm gonna put a younger person in the ad. So you can't be attached, I would say, as a marketer.
Right.
As a business owner, it might hurt your feelings a little bit. But we knew that there's biases, there's perception, and there's racism in this world. There's sexism in this world. So
mainly racism in the United States.
it's unfortunate, but you just gotta
Colorism everywhere else.
Yeah.
So my next question to you is like, when you came up with revenue boomers after you were challenged by, what was the gentleman's name again?
Bob Grant.
So Bob Grant's like, I don't see you online. And you were like, hold my beer. Hold on. Because when I met you, first of all, you was dressed to the T. So I was like, who is this brother with the impeccable style, first of all? And then just your spirit. And so when I went to your Instagram, I was like, oh my goodness, you know a little something about a little something. So like, what made you come up with revenue boomers? What inspired you with your content strategy? What is your content strategy like?
So 2017, I came up with revenue boomers. I was in that Snapchat age, listening to DJ Khaled. Business is booming, everything is booming. And I was like, oh, I'm going to call my marketing agency Revenue Boomers. Like, would I do that now? No. But 2017, I made up that name. 2022 is when I started creating content. June 2022. And then I gained 169,000 followers in 45 days on TikTok from July 5th to like August 28th. But then I started dealing with some like negative stuff on TikTok, and I was like, wow, this is like weird. And then
The
Instagram,
negative stuff on TikTok?
TikTok is like the wild, wild west. Oh my God.
What? Tell me about TikTok.
TikTok's wild, wild west is like there's no support. It's an algorithm that is moderating everything. And going back to, race, specific races are going to have different experiences on TikTok. It is what it is. Meaning, like, you might have some people following you that don't like you and they just report your videos because they don't like you and they can get you taken down and there's nothing you can do about it. So
Oh,
it's just like a wild, wild west, meaning they don't really support their creators. And you just have to kind of like figure it out. So I just said, scratch TikTok. I'm going to Instagram. I gained 1.5 million followers on Instagram in 12 months. And how I did that was by doing extensive research. I'm an academic as well. And as an academic, we have to do research. If I'm writing a 20-page paper, I need to like follow a formula. So with my academic background and my marketing background, I researched on TikTok 2022 SEO agencies. There's a guy named Social T Pro. He was doing these websites that feel illegal to know video, getting 11 million views. I was like, what? Okay, that's the formula. So I jumped on the bandwagon of the secret websites because I realized that's what people in my industry were doing. But I did some research and I found the winning formula and I just got really good at it.
that's awesome. That's amazing. So tell us a little bit about your academic background. Where did
So
you
I
go
went
to
to,
school?
yeah, I graduated from, I got my undergraduate in 2013. From 2013 to 2016, I partied. I partied hard. Like I lived my
Wait, wait,
best
wait. So you graduated from college and then you just partied?
for 2 years, 3 years. Yep. And then year two, I was like, I met up with one of my professors 2015, and I was like, I feel lost. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm living the best life, but I need more clarity and direction. She told
Oh,
me
wait, wait, wait. I have a question though. Like, how did you, I mean, when you say you partied, did you work? Did you have a job? Did you?
I was working, I was making money. If you're partying for 2 years, you're making some money. Like life was
Oh.
good, really good. Yeah. So yeah, I was making plenty of money. And it allowed me the opportunity to just do whatever I want, when I want, how I want. So I stayed in a college environment versus going back home to like, sometimes it'd be a little negative in that home environment. And while I was there, I got to meet a lot of people. I met this one lady and she was just telling me like, I think you can do so many other great things and this and that. And it's, it was like a little bit of inspiration. So 2015, I met up with one of my professors, one of my favorite professors in the world. And I told her like, hey, I feel lost. What should I do? I told her I want to be a lawyer. And she's like, I think you should go into academia instead. You'll have more autonomy, et cetera, et cetera. Long story short, I went to Villanova, Villanova, prestigious, all white university predominantly.
Mhm.
Not the best college for me, to be honest, because like I was the only Black person in the grad program. And it was like I was disadvantaged. I didn't realize how disadvantaged I was until I got there. And I basically I failed the class my first semester because I had an emergency eye operation. And the professor wasn't giving me any slack. She basically failed me and told me I had to get a 4.0 the following semester. They're gonna kick me out the program. So I was like, "Are you guys serious?" Like, and like I had a professor one day tell me in my
Wait,
face,
wait,
"I'm
wait,
not
wait. So they didn't let you like
do nothing."
withdraw or dang
No.
at
And
Villanova?
then I tried to appeal the grade, appealing the grade in academia. It's not going to go in your favor because if those professors side with the student, it's them questioning that professor, and they have to work with that professor. So it's rare that they're ever going to change a student's grade because it's an insult to that professor.
So they
So
didn't give you any reprieve because of the medical emergency
nothing.
at
So
Villanova.
basically, get 4.0 or we're going to kick you
Dang.
out the program.
I'm
So what
really
did I
shocked
do? I got the
because that was not my experience. Like I had to take a medical withdrawal when I was at MIT and at University of Michigan Ann Arbor, where I did my master's. So wow, that's crazy.
sink or swim. It was like, figure it out, brother.
Villanova is like merciless.
And like after that experience, I started going to get more support within the community, within the university. I had this meeting with this one lady, Black lady. She was like a support for the students. She had this sign on the floor, right? And I'm like, why do you have this sign on the floor of your desk? She's like, because when I'm speaking to a lot of students, they don't look at me. They'll look down. So I put that sign there to kind of uplift them. I'm like, what kind of environment is this? Like, but it was just like, and then I meet some of the Black students, they would tell me their experience, and it was completely different from UMass. UMass, it was like diverse. Everybody was together. It's like click. Villanova was like separate squads. Like if you were an athlete, you got treated differently. But if you were just a Black guy, it was like, you're just a Black guy. Nothing against Villanova, but that was just my experience. I'm not saying anything negative about Villanova. So I had to get a 4.0. They're going to kick me out the program. I got the 4.0, and I told them, like, screw you guys. Like, I don't want in the political science department. I want nothing to do with you guys. I transferred over to communications. Communications was basically the same issue. It was a bunch of stuck-up professors that felt like they knew everything. They write papers, don't do anything after they write a paper. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Why do I want to sit behind a cubicle, write a paper, and I do nothing with the people? And then if I can only help people that have the money to come to Villanova. So I'm like, being a professor,
That's
doesn't
why
make
they
any
call
sense.
it an ivory tower. That's why they call it an ivory tower, because it's isolated.
So it didn't make any sense to me. So I left grad school, and like I still didn't get my master's. I don't think I even need the master's. And I just realized, like, it was like I was trying to conform and be accepted by society. That's what I really felt like. And I needed a piece of paper to be validated. And I was like, no, the only person that can ever validate me is me. I don't really need any piece of paper, right? And no other human. Even having a marketing agency, sometimes you need validation from your clients. At one point, I didn't want to run my marketing agency because it's like, who are you? Who have you helped?
Mm-hmm.
Versus like, who are you? What can you do? And I was like, so people care more.
That validation piece is interesting because, like where is the line between like reasonable validation and social proof and people just being straight haters?
And you have, like, I got into the government contracting space 2020, and I was trying to get into some of these bigger corporations, like the bigger corporations. I'm not even gonna say any names. I got on calls with a couple of these companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a minority-owned business. I'm trying to do business with you guys. I have the credibility. I've worked with Sinclair Broadcast Group. I work with Ryan Pineda. I've managed over $1 million in paid ad spend, helped this business from 26K to 1.7 million. And then they're like, well, have you worked with a financial firm of our size before? It's like, obviously not if I'm having this conversation with you, like, but doesn't my past resume showcase that I have the ability to do it? And they're like, oh, we'll get back to you. And it's just like, it's like a dog chasing its tail. They just want you running in circles to like try to be validated. And like, this doesn't make any sense. So a lot of these programs, it sounds good on the surface. It's like DEI. Sounds good. But what are you guys actually doing? And it's like after the George Floyd, oh yeah, we're going to support all these Black businesses. Sounds good. But what did you actually do? And that's kind of like academia, that's society. So it's just like with my content and with everything that I'm doing, like the reason I want 100 million followers in the B is so once I get to the B, I can pull out 100 million, 200 million, and I can make an impact with my own money in my own space versus looking for a handout. And I don't need anybody's money. I got the money. I'll finance it myself.
Right.
I have the community. I got the money. I got the resources, and I'll pay for it. I don't need anything from anybody because it's like society always is like, half of what you see is not really what it is. A lot of these influencers, they're not the same people they are in person that they are online. I've been around these people. So it's just like, you really got to build your moat and build your fortress around you. And your money is basically like like Elon Musk, when Disney was like threatening him and he's like, Disney, fuck you guys. You can't threaten me with money. That's the level I want to get to when no one can go try to persuade me based off of money. I want to have enough. So I'm like, I can do whatever I want when I want with respect and with community building. And I just want to help people. Like a Mr. Beast, I want to go plant 100 wells in a country when the government should be doing that, but I'll do it if they don't want to.
Hmm. So, influencers, tell me, like, what are three things that if someone wants to build their influence online, not necessarily be an influencer, but if they're a brand, a business, CPG, B2B, B2C, whatever the case may be, what are three ways that they can build their influence online?
Number one is research. You need to research your industry and figure out who's doing what you want to do and how you can model their success. Don't try to recreate the wheel. Number two is experiment. You have to be willing to experiment with creating content. If you're not comfortable with like, I used to use the word failing forward, but I'm going to use the word experimenting because it's kind of like you're a scientist and you're trying to put these things together to make it work. How you know it works is by doing multiple experiments. And that means just creating content and posting it. It doesn't need to be the perfect video, it doesn't need to be the best video, but you need to be willing and open to feedback. And then number three is to be consistent. Consistency is everything. I was gaining 100,000 followers a week at one point. I didn't miss one day of posting in a year, in like 14, 15 months. I was committed. I was like, nothing is going to stop me. At one point, I was posting 8 videos a day on TikTok. On Instagram, I was doing 5 a day. Every single day, I didn't miss a beat.
Wow.
People think like, it's overnight. It's 6 years of overnight success. But
Wow.
that's from my Tai Lopez journey, Joe Irway, Billie Jean. I just took everything I learned and realized having a personal brand is just as heavy as like, now I get in rooms I wouldn't normally get into just because of personal brand. I'm an influencer. So it's just, those are the three things I'd say are the most important. And then my formula for creating content, all
Mhm.
my videos start with a hook. You need to be able to get people's attention in the first 1 to 3 seconds. It's like an advertiser. What do you say in the first 1 to 3 seconds to get their attention? Step number 2 is to add value. Share some piece of information that can help them for free without expecting anything in return. That's why I share the website. If you go to this website, you can get XYZ and do XYZ. And people are like, oh my gosh, like, wow, I didn't know that. And step number 3 is a call to action. I'll have 2 call to actions in some of my videos where it's like, comment the word blank below to get XYZ. I built my email list to 142,000 people in 8 months by just using ManyChat and by saying comment this word below to get my free 100 useful websites. And then my second call to action is, I don't have my glasses, but it's like, I'll put on my glasses.
Tell me about that.
Yeah.
Well, you can do it and I'll do it for you because I'm wearing glasses.
Yeah. So it's like, who teaches you all this stuff? It's simple. I follow Cliff Pierre, CEO. And I was like, but rinse and repeat. It's simple. I'll even put the finger in the air. It's simple. I follow Cliff Pierre, CEO. It's like, that's it. But as a marketer and advertiser, that's like easy. Hook, value, call to action. We're not going to ever create a video without a call to action at the end of it.
Absolutely.
I took that framework and I applied it to content creation.
It's brilliant. So I want to go back to your second point about experimentation. I saw a presentation at Traffic and Conversion Summit a couple of weeks ago, and Ken Osaki was presenting on content creation. One thing he said was that he's tried to use the same formula of content for different people, and one thing that works for one person didn't work for the other person. So can you talk a little bit more about like the research and the experimentation dynamic? Like, what does that look like?
So like there's facts to that because it's the hook concept. The hook, add value, call to action. It's a framework. It's like a car. A car has doors, wheels, and thing. That's a car. It's the basic foundation of it. What's going to change is the industry that you're in. Your industry is going to impact the type of content that you create. Like if you're a doctor, you shouldn't be creating secret website videos. You should be talking more health related stuff. How do we know what to talk about? We go research doctors that are creating content to figure out what they're talking about. So that's where the research is so important because you need to apply the research to your industry.
Mm-hmm.
Don't see, if you're a lawyer, don't go talk about what a doctor would go talk about. If you're, if you're a construction person, you need to figure out what people in construction are talking about. So that's where the research is extremely important, because it's not a one size fits all strategy, but the framework of success works. So that's where it is a little interchangeable. And some people, if there's nobody talking about what you do in your industry, you might be up for a little more of a challenge. And you have to, if you have a coach, like if you're posting 5 videos a day, you're going to learn faster than a person that's doing 1 video a day. So if I don't have the formula, I'm going to just crank out content. So at the end of the week, I do 35 videos. This person did 7. At the end of the month, I did 140 videos. This person did 30. Who's going to learn faster? A guy that did
did more, because you'll have more data. Absolutely. So my question to you is, how can people connect with you? And
send me a DM on Instagram, Cliff Pierre CEO, and like say that you came from the SEO Queen podcast, so I know where you came from, and like whatever I can do to support you, I'm here for you. And if you're in Vegas Super Bowl week, I'll be speaking at a couple of events. There'll be an event once you go to my Instagram, you'll see some of these events, but that whole Super Bowl week is gonna be crazy. So if you're in Vegas and you want to meet, let me know, because Super Bowl week is coming in next week.
It is. It's the weekend after next. So that's exciting. Yeah. Well, Cliff, it's been a plum-pleasing pleasure having you on the SEO Queen Tech Show.
And shout out to Beacons. Beacons, if you guys don't know what Beacon is, you need to go download it. It's a free tool, all-in-one link and bio tool. And I use Beacons to build my email list to 152,000 emails. So if you're a content creator or a business owner, yeah, beacons.ai. It's a really cool tool. I worked with them in the past as well. And I love Beacons. So Beacons and ManyChat, those are the 2 tools I use to build my email list to 100.
How do you spell that ManyChat?
ManyChat. ManyChat and Beacons, those are like 2 ultimate marketing tools that I highly recommend you look into if you're a marketer.
That's awesome.
Even if you're a regular person. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that information.
Team effort. I'm the website guy. I got to add value.
That's awesome. Well, you've been listening to the SEO Queen Tech Show. We're broadcast worldwide on Bashadi Radio. And my guest for today has been the fantastic and fabulous Cliff Pierre, CEO. Well, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, and make sure you go to seoqueen.com and follow us on all social media channels. Tap into our podcast for phenomenal episodes like this. And until next time,